What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up Though Show. It's your boy Dame D, and I am back with another one. Today we're going to be having a conversation about the Detroit Lions and their future, going forward. I got a few people that's going to be joining me on today's panel and discussion. I'll go ahead and allow you guys to introduce yourself to the show, and we'll start with you guys up top.
Big Hand from the 313. What up, though? Q Nitty in the house.
Big Chief Chuck.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to welcome each of you. We're gonna just chop it up, man. The season pretty much is over with. The Lions were eliminated yesterday with a loss to Minnesota. So I'm gonna start off with you, Big Chief. Give me your thoughts. Give me your opinion on yesterday's game, loss to Minnesota. This is our second loss in a row to the Vikings. We've lost twice to Green Bay, and we beat Chicago, and we got them at the last game of the season. So if we do not beat them, that means we would have went from first to worst in our division. So just give me your thoughts on the whole season and your thoughts on yesterday's game.
My opinion was I thought that was a very bad display of football. To me, they just looked like they didn't even want it, man. They wasn't playing with no urgency, no effort. It was like they was trying to get home back because it was Christmas. Like they was trying to get home to their families, man.
All right.
The offensive line didn't block at all with no effort. They act like they didn't know what they was doing. I don't know if they even practiced this week together. They just was all disarrayed, man. I was very disappointed in that. And I told myself, we're going to go out like that. We don't go out like that, win or lose, So I thought that was bad display of football, man.
Yeah, it was horrible, and I'm going to ask you guys up top, starting with you, Q-Nitty, the same questions. Give me your thoughts, man, on the season. How do we go from, winning the division 3 years in a row, Super Bowl predictions? A lot of sports analysts picked us to win the Super Bowl. So how do we go from winning our divisions 3 years in a row, predicted to win the Super Bowl, the last really 3 years in a row? To me, that window has closed up. It's going to be a lot of changes coming up for us. So just give me your thoughts on this disappointing season, Q-Nitty.
Man, we was wounded, man. We had a lot of guys out. Our back end, our two safeties was out, corners in and out. Offensive line was just horrible, beat up all the way around. We just ran out of juice, man. That's all I said. We didn't play a lot of football in the last 5 years, Jim. That team has played a lot of football, man. Been around. So
man, but you gotta look at it like this. The other teams play with a lot of injuries too, man. We played with a lot of injuries last year, and still ended up winning our division, and still ended up making it to the playoffs. We had I'm not going to say a better roster, but we should have had a better shot this year than we did last year, and we fell at everything that we tried to do this year. We had problems with the offensive coordinators, and a lot of people try to say that we look better after Dan took over. But to me, it seems like we started a career of winning and losing games right after he started calling those plays. So, Big Ken, give me your thoughts on that, man. Give me your thoughts on the season that just came to an end, and then, like I said, Dan took over with coaching, and then it just like we fell apart from there.
Yeah, bro. I just feel like that these last couple games, the Lions winning 3 straight. It's just, I think when we lost our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator, that it was going to be some changes, but we didn't think it was going to affect us this bad. We have a terrible offensive. We don't even have an offensive line. I'm gonna say that. Like, but what we seen last night, the center throwing passes damn near over the quarterback's head and fumbles and all the shenanigans that we seen last night was like, I think we gonna have to go to the table, man, and sit down and talk about how we gonna make the defense Lions the team that they need to be.
And can I add to that
Chuck.
also?
Go ahead, Big Chief.
We digress, man. We went from a championship to getting put out the first round until not even the playoffs at all. So we digress, man. you're supposed to, always reload your team up, man. You just look. It's like, Brad. You're getting these third, fourth tier guys. You need to get second tier guys, even for the second string. You need to reload.
Hello.
Always have a reload. It just looked bad, man. We digress very bad, very bad.
Yeah, very bad. And I asked you guys this question before we actually started recording, before we went live. Do you think it's time for us to start thinking about drafting another quarterback? Because it showed to the point where, let me say this before you guys answer the question. Minnesota pretty much opened up what it takes for teams to be able to disrupt Goff. And that's pretty much sending the blitz every other play or every down. And they started this carousel of us winning, losing, and then it kind of exposed our whole offense. So without a mobile quarterback, to me, this offense is not going anywhere.
Hello.
Because now, for the most part, we're a great regular season team, and that's pretty much it. We had this 4-year window where we had this great team, and we squandered that. So you guys give me your thoughts on that. Is it time to start looking for a new quarterback in Dan Campbell? Is his coaching career, coming to an end?
Oh, I think everything you just said is on the table, to be honest with you, bro. It's looking like from the last 3 games, like we need some direction. Where it's gonna come from, that's what's to be seen. The Lions,
and let me say this, and then I'll go ahead and let you guys talk. And why I say this, man, because Dan started this thing maybe about 3-4 years ago with going for it on fourth downs, and he was lucky for those first 3 years, but the last 2 years has been very questionable. We lost a lot of games on his coaching decisions, on going for it on fourth downs, some decisions where he should have took the points versus going for it and not losing. And it started with that Minnesota game, the first game of the year when we played Minnesota. It opened up everything, and it showed all the, the defects with going for it on fourth. It showed our blocking schemes, and just everything. So, Big Chief, give me your thoughts on that, man. Is this Dan last year, and is it time to replace Goff?
I don't think that it's his last year, but definitely they got to go. They got to come out like a hornet's nest as far as getting the whole situation together. As far as the quarterback, the league has changed, man. I'm going to be honest, man. I've been a Lions fan for a long time. The league has changed. I've never seen the Lions with a mobile quarterback.
Okay, here I come. I'm actually going live, but I'm about to come out there now.
Yeah, the league has changed, and I just feel like the Lions, I would like to see them with a mobile quarterback. Now, as far as moving Goff out right away, I'm not maybe giving one more year, but you definitely got to draft a nice quarterback that's going to be ready to go. That's mobile and ready to go.
So look, I need for you. I'm getting ready to step out for 1 second. Big hand. I need for you to go on ahead and keep the show going. You guys basically, just go ahead and just conversate until I get back. You guys hold it down. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, C.
Yes, I would like to ask, Q Nitty, what did you feel about the quarterback situation?
Well, I think we should draft a quarterback, but I disagree on that he lost some games for us this year because we got cheated out of 5 games, Big Chief.
No, I'm not.
We got cheated out of 5 games, bro. 5.
Well, it was some controversial calls in some games. Yes, it was.
Yes, there you go. So he didn't do nothing bad too much. Goff is in the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL this year.
I agree.
The top 5.
I agree.
So
I'm not
you put back there. If they can't protect, you ain't gonna get nothing off.
Right. But you know that mobile quarterbacks can make things they can make the play last a little longer. But I'm not saying that he completely lost that game yesterday because he didn't. It was just we all saw what we saw. It was definitely the offensive line was just was the full mess about the whole situation. So
yeah.
Go ahead, bitch.
Yeah, so I just feel like after, like I say, the last 3 games, it showed a lot that the Lions need to look on offense and defense and figure out who they gonna keep, who they not gonna keep, because we got to do some reshuffling of our offensive and defensive front.
Oh, no doubt.
Right,
We know that. We know
as
that.
of now, we have no offensive line. Like, we going into Chicago playing with the offensive line that we played with yesterday. It's no way that they ain't finna put up at least 30 points on us. You know, even if they don't play, they starters. I just feel like that. And I don't feel like the Lions want to win this next game because of what's going on. Draft picks and all kind of stuff. So I don't know. You tell me. See.
Yeah, I believe that. I can agree with that. We all of us know that we got to retool to make the team better. But my thing I want to see when they do play the Chicago Bears, I want to see the effort. I want to see the urgency to see if they still even got it to let us know that they want to come back or they want to get re-signed to the team. Because this will let me know if they play like, hey, lackadaisical like they did yesterday, then it's going to let me know those guys is ready to go, especially the ones that still got years to come back to the Lions. But I'm just really disappointed of the effort. I'm more disappointed in the effort, And then as far as the urgency, it was a playoff
There
game.
was none.
You had a chance to be
there
in a
was
playoff.
No effort.
Right, it wasn't none. That's what I'm saying. I just wanted to see the urgency to say, hey, we're trying to get in the playoffs. They was playing like they wasn't even trying to get into the playoffs, So that's how I feel about that,
Okay, so we got all these people injured. We got all these people that we need to re-sign. We got BB that we got to re-sign. What you feel about all these people that we got out and that's hurt? And what you go ahead. I'm gonna let Q take the mic. Go ahead, Q.
So we got BB, Campbell, Gibbs, and
we got Laporta coming up.
Yeah, Laporta. That's the 4. That's the main 4. We gotta sign them, but you can't keep everybody.
No, somebody gotta go.
Somebody gonna go because everybody want that max.
So we give the money to the people that's been showing results, right?
You gotta get Laporta for sure. You gotta keep that together.
That's what we give money to the people that's been giving us results.
So what I think
Laporta hasn't really been helped. Has Laporta really been healthy? Two? I mean, how many seasons been playing? 2, maybe 2, right? Has he been? Has he played a full 2 years straight?
Hell yeah.
That's a hard one right there, see, because Laporta has been been the best tight end for the Lions for the last 2 years. So other than him,
he hasn't played a full season on both 2 years though.
It don't matter. You keep that boy around.
It does matter. It does matter because guess what? You know why it matters? Because you have to be on that field to help. Oh, it matters.
Hello. It does.
Hey, Laporta has to stay.
If he come back from his back injury, that's I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, how is he gonna come back from that injury?
So let me ask you guys this then.
Do you sign him before? I'm sorry, see, do you sign him before, or do you sign him thinking that he gonna be what you need him to be, or is we gonna sign him and he come back and he not the same? That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I mean, this is a business at the end of the day. The NFL is a business. You don't produce. You got to go. But my thing is this: do you keep him, or get rid of him, or you keep BB, which is Brian Branch, and you keep him or get rid of him? Now, which one do you keep? If you have to get rid of someone.
Oh yeah, that's without a doubt. I'm keeping BB.
I'm asking you that, Q. What do you think? You said someone had to go. Someone
gotta go.
So who do you keep between those two? If it was between those two, who do you keep?
Between BB and Laporta?
Yeah, because Jack made it to the Pro Bowl, so he's not going nowhere right now.
Right. So I gotta keep Laporta.
Hell no. No. I'm keeping BB. I'm keeping BB.
I'm a Brian Branch guy. It's all about how he, how he comes back from it. Like you said, well, actually, both of them. We have to see.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
That part.
It's gonna be tough.
I mean, but if I gotta say who I'm keeping Brian Branch because he's holding down our secondary. We ain't gonna go. I don't think if he come back anything like he was, we not gonna find nobody nowhere near a Brian Branch caliber.
That's what I was getting ready to ask next. I was going to ask you that next. I was getting ready to piggyback off that. Do you find a safety, or you find a tight end quicker that can just help right away? Which one? Or do you got to develop which one is going to come right in and can help right away?
I think we can go get a tight end quicker.
What you think?
I think that the league is very limited on good ass safeties. You see what I'm saying? And he one of the best.
What you think,
I want to apologize, y'all. A father's duty is never over. I had to help my daughter out. She needed to jump real quick, getting the car started, so I had to do that.
Understood.
Yeah. So where we at, fellas?
About who we should keep between LaPorta and BB.
Yeah, man. Listen, LaPorta, they might let him go, meaning that he's coming off a back injury. You know what I mean? And our cap room is already going to be kind of fucked up. So LaPorta may not be coming back.
That's what you feel?
Especially with that injury.
That's what I just said,
bro.
Yeah. Facts.
That's tough.
And Alonso, he may not be coming back because this is he's trying to he's a little older in age and he's trying to get a little bit more money.
That's what I said.
Man, like I said, with all the injuries that we got, and then all the players that's going to be wanting money coming back, with new contracts. This squad that we built, and this was an excellent squad, man. The window that we had to win to take it off to the Super Bowl, this window has closed.
No. Don't put that out there like that. No.
I'm just gonna be honest, and I'll start with that's a question I'm going to ask.
It's definitely closed for this year.
This window that's closed. Because a lot of teams around us has been getting better. Come on, David. So go ahead. I'll start with you, Q.
All I can say,
has that window closed for us, as far as winning the Super Bowl? We can't even make it to the to the NFC Championship. So go ahead. Answer that question, Q.
Man, y'all have to believe, bruh.
Listen, man, we've been believing.
Them guys are coming back.
You just got to be realistic. Sometimes teams are just great regular season teams. And sometimes you have a window where you do have a great chance to win the Super Bowl, and that window, I think, in my opinion, has closed up. So I just want to go ahead, Big Chief, give me your opinion on that. Do you think that window? Do you still think that window is open for the Lions to be able to? We got to compete with the Rams. Look, the Rams has passed us up like far as being that top seed in the NFC. But give me you guys' opinion.
My opinion is I believe that window is real tight closed. It's because you gotta retool everything. It's a lot of things you gotta retool. Now I believe that we can get back in the playoffs, but because teams change every year. And we got a lot of retooling to do, man. A lot of replacing. We got from the defensive side and the offensive side. So I believe that we digressed it, man. We really went down, man.
Be quiet, damn it. Be quiet.
So I think so, man.
Yeah, because you got teams like I said. The Rams, they're coming on. They're looking good. You even got. Not Seattle, but like I said, I'll just give the Rams as one example. The Rams are looking good. They're looking unstoppable. Their running game. We just played against them, and our offense fared pretty decent. But the defense, man, our defense, we're gonna have to rebuild this whole defense. And I actually watched this show, man, and this is honest, and these are stats. Our defense for the last 4 years, our defense has gotten worse. You know how most teams' defense get better. we've actually digressed in our defense. We have
Of
not
course.
gotten better.
Yeah. Because you know
a lot
why?
of people
I
don't
don't
want to
know
talk
if
about
I
that.
would agree with the last 4 years because we don't have Kersey Joseph and Branch back there. So I know our secondary. I would say this was the worst year
Don't
we
get me
don't
wrong.
have.
We don't have great players. Do their things individually, but as a group, our defense has, like I said, diverse, and we've gotten worse every year up
Yes.
under Dan Campbell.
Yes, I agree because my opinion is we need another impactful DN on the other side and some impactful D tackles. And I think we need, like you said, Angeloni's gonna be gone. We need another linebacker that can go.
Yeah,
And when
because we're gonna be good with Jack Campbell right there in the middle. And I think Muhammad on the other end of Hutch, we'll be okay with that if we're able to resign him. You know what I mean? Because he may be wanting to get up out of here. Because like I said, a lot of players, man. I mean, we do have a lot of players wanting to come and play for Detroit now. But the thing is, will players want to come to Detroit? Up under the leadership of Goff. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Goff has gotten to the point where now the defense. They're not respecting what he's doing, like far as being able to drop back there in that pocket. They're just blitzing every play, and it's disrupting what we've been trying to do as an offensive group. He can't get rid of the ball.
Well, as far as Hutch signed his contract already.
Right.
The D tackle that we have, gentlemen, was in the top 5 in the NFL.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
For real. So these guys, yes.
I don't know about those stats.
Some ain't being coached, man. We still good, bro. We old.
I'm not saying that we're not a good squad. My question is to you is, we're a good squad, but can we compete with the top teams in the league? You know what I mean? Like that Philadelphia game, there's no way we should have lost to that Philadelphia. To me, Philadelphia was not good enough to be able to beat us, and they still went out there and handled their business against us, man. Like the game with Minnesota. How did we lose a game to Minnesota to a Minnesota team? That's coming off of that didn't have their starting quarterback. They put a rookie quarterback in there. We pretty much was not able to disrupt anything that they were doing offensively for the most part.
Hey, couldn't get there.
We stopped the pass. We just couldn't stop the run, and that's the killer part. We couldn't even stop the run.
Yeah, well, that's 2 weeks in a row. The Rams ate us up in the run.
Yeah.
And we just talked about that, Big Chief. Our defense, for the last 2 years, man, has been pretty much hurt, and we've given up a lot of running plays up the middle. So my question is, are we just going to be a good regular season team? Will we be able to ever get over that hump? Will Jared Goff, and I think the Rams saw what we're starting to see now. That's why they let him go.
Yeah, my bet said that.
We gotta get better in drafting. Far as like I said, Brad, you moved up in the draft and let go 2 third rounds, 2 years or 3 years in a row, third round picks that could have been impactful players. That could have been a lineman or a defensive lineman or another corner. You gave up some picks. Now here it is. We got this year coming up. We don't have a third round pick unless you maybe trade one of our decent players that might can get us a third round pick. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. I think we're a decent team. They're gonna have to clean house, man. We got a really clean house, and we got to really plug and play. We got to plug in some good players that can come back from this because it's gonna be tough, man.
No, I agree, man. And it's going to be a lot of big decisions made, going forward. I do believe we need to draft a quarterback in this year's draft. Put a lot of little fire up under Goff, and because like I said, and we had a decent offensive line, starting off at the beginning of the year. The offensive line, everything was rolling, but things start to fall apart in that Minnesota game. If you guys look at it, the blocking schemes that we had. We had Gibbs back there blocking 6'4", 6'5", 260-pound linebackers. And then it exposed our whole offensive line. From there, that's when we had start having a lot of problems with blocking these linebackers and these defensive tackles getting in there, busting up in there, man. And it just showed, now what teams been doing is just bringing DBs down. And if you notice, two of their DBs had sacks yesterday. One of them, I believe, that they had in that sack that we got for safety. You know what I mean? So you guys gotta watch that, man. The whole thing is that teams are bringing down, more than what we can block, and it's getting to Goff. He's not getting rid of that ball fast enough, and it showed yesterday.
Well, I just want to say something real quick on that. Well, I guess that shows that Brock and Laporta, they are good blocking tight ends, which those tight ends we had in yesterday, they're not good at all. That was just because they was coming right off the edges too, which was just no blocking, no help. It's just bad, man. I'm just I hate to see my team go out like that, man. The tight ends, we definitely need good blocking tight ends.
That was a damn good point you just made right there. See, like the tight ends definitely help with blocking, and if you ain't got no good tight ends there, that means the edge rushers is killing you. Yeah.
Yeah, see, but you got to think about it, and I agree everything what you said, Big Chief. It did seem like once Laporta went out, our blocking schemes, like far as on the edge, were getting blown up, and they were coming through there, full steam ahead. But it seems like, the tight ends that they did have out there would be strictly for blocking, and they still were getting through, what I mean? Because Laporta, he would go out there and block, and then he would release. What I mean? It seemed like these tight ends that they had out there now would just be strictly just for blocking.
But I wanted to mention too that it had to go with Brad. You had time with their free agency. You didn't even do nothing in the free agency. You had a chance to even get Ziegler back that we used to have from the Tennessee Titans. You had an opportunity to get him back. You could have got him back, and we could have been a little stronger in the inside, But
he thought he was going to be able to get it done with the squad that he had.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And that let you know about him not picking him up.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
because we're not, we're not getting a good enough. Our second. You got to have good second tier guys to come in for the first string guys. You get guys off the street who hasn't played in a while. That's not going to work to make our depth
thinking it was
better.
going to work. Yeah, it exposed us even more.
Yes,
far as safety wise. That's why last week our middle we gave up so much in the run, because those safeties that we did have back there, they had no clue on what they were doing, like far as trying to stop the run. You had one safety that was up in the middle like he was linebacker. That whole left side was wide open. He got caught up in the blocking scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, but yeah, man, we got a lot of decisions that we need to make going forward. And our main decision is, I think, in this upcoming draft, as a quarterback, because we're going to keep, do we continue drafting offensive linemen when we had a pretty good, offensive line, at one point before, we started getting key injuries to guys, so that to me is going to start looking at, you got to start looking at the quarterback. When you have blocking issues on that offensive line.
Q.
Yeah, I'm saying, y'all got to excuse me. I got my little one over here. He's going crazy. I'm trying to do a show and do this at the same time, But no, like I said, you got to, at some point, you got to start looking at your quarterback. Is Goff just a regular season quarterback? Can he get us to that promised land? And I'm just going to be honest, after looking at this, these last few games, no, he cannot get us to that promised land. You know what I mean? Defenses have schemed on him. They know how to disrupt, what he's trying to do offensively. And, and Minnesota drew up the perfect manuscript to how to shut Goff down in the Lions offense. Our running game was we didn't have that one running. I don't even think we got over 50 yards in running yesterday at all.
I don't know the stats, but I just know one thing. That line sucked yesterday. So
yeah, it was horrible.
It sucked all around. we
You know,
sucked all
and
around.
it all started with the quarterback, man. How do you throw back-to-back
Goff
interceptions? Which I
gonna
knew one
be
of those
here.
interceptions was not his fault. But go ahead, Big Chief.
Go ahead.
Hold
Q.
on.
No, that was Q. It's on you, Q. Go ahead. I had something to say after you.
Goff gonna be here for the next 4 years. He ain't leaving to 2028. So he gonna be here, man.
And that's what his contract is until
Everything
2028.
been Jerry Goff. Jerry Goff. I don't care where you go in the United States, they was chanting Jerry Goff.
No, they
So
wasn't.
now he had a couple bad games. I mean, a couple bad games. I mean, come on, man. They coming at him. He ain't got nobody to protect him.
Okay. Well, I want to
So
piggyback
we
off
gotta
that.
get somebody to protect that 50 million, 100. That man worth $170 million, bro.
Let me
Man, look, your
$170
offensive line can only protect
contract.
you
Let
for
me
so
piggyback off
long.
that.
It comes a point where you got to be honest. He can't even get out of the pocket, step up, to be able to buy himself a few more seconds. You know what I mean? Most quarterbacks, when that wall is closing, they'll step up. He's not even stepping up in the pocket to be able to get the ball down the field to J-Mo.
Yeah. Yes, and I wanted to piggyback off that because that's like this. You got to have a perfect line for Goff to throw very well. My thing is this. With the elite quarterbacks in the league, which was a proof year before last, which was the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs did not have an elite offensive line, but they had an elite quarterback to win the Super Bowl. The elite quarterbacks make things happen. You don't have to always have a perfect line to be an elite quarterback. You got to be an elite quarterback to not have a perfect line and still can throw and win a Super Bowl. You got to have. So what you're telling me is you got to have an elite line for Goff to make us to the Super Bowl because he can't extend the plays enough for me. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but he's not my pick. I like him, but he's not my favorite top pick. He's not.
See, and this was a question that we talked about, and I think you were involved in the show too, Q. Is Goff just a great regular season quarterback? Because every year, since he's been with the Lions, we have not made it out of besides the year when we played San Francisco and lost. But for the most part, man, he's a great regular season quarterback. He will not be able to get you over that hump when you play top tier defenses, because what they're going to do, they're just going to blitz, and he cannot step up to be able to get to that to the second and third receivers. He's going to be able. Only thing he's going to be able to do with that blitz is just drop it off to those running backs coming out of the backfield. He's not going to be able to step up and get the ball down the field to J-Mo. And it showed, without Sam Laporta there, and Big Chief made excellent, excellent description on that. Without Sam Laporta there, the offense, and the blocking schemes it was horrible, man. So we're going to have to go back to the drawing board. Hopefully we can get Laporta back. But normally when players come off back injuries like that, teams normally let them go, and those injuries are, pretty much, I'm not going to say career-ending injuries, but they don't come back at the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goff is not just a regular season quarterback. Goff, remember, took the Rams to the Super Bowl. Even though we traded Stafford to them. They ain't trade Goff to us. We asked them for Goff. We give y'all Stafford. They took it. Okay. We got some draft picks off that. That's what built this team that we talking about now. So we all benefited. Well, we just ain't got over the hump because of injury. But we gonna get it together. We gonna be ready. Goff is an elite top quarterback. Jerry Goff. That's my dog. If y'all don't like Goff, then turn y'all shit in.
Listen, I'm just gonna be honest, man. Listen, don't get me wrong. Goff, his numbers, his stats has been the best in the league. Really the last 3 years. But what it's showing you is, man, under pressure, he can't have that pressure, man. He's not mobile enough to be able, to get the job done. I'm just gonna be honest, man. We've come to a league where you have to have a mobile quarterback. And most teams understand that now.
You told me, numbers don't lie, right, Q? You told me numbers don't lie. And don't get me wrong, he got hell of a numbers. But you know what?
Oh, okay.
He ain't never won the MVP either, though. Now, if you want to talk statistics and all that, he never won the MVP, guy.
Well, a lot of quarterbacks, good quarterbacks, and elite quarterbacks
I'm saying with the yards he got, he never won it.
Okay.
Never.
What that got to do with it?
Pardon me?
What that got to do with it?
Well, guess what? What it got to do with is this. We digress, it, guy. And you know what?
Let
me say this to you.
Yeah, I agree.
I get that. I get that, but let me say this to you. I've been a Lions fan. I've been a Lions fan a long time. I've been a Lions fan for a long time, and guess what? I'm to the point like this. I've been spoiled. I got spoiled with this Lion era here, right? But guess what? I don't have to accept it. Like I always told you, it should be zero tolerance. Because guess what? I want a dynasty. We don't supposed to digress. We supposed to keep moving up. I want to win. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's hard. This should be our three-peat. Meaning, I'm not saying we supposed to want a three-peat. And it's hard to three-peat. But some teams come back and do. They win 2 times, and then sometimes they go on a three-peat. But guess what? Just like the Chiefs was going on a three-peat, they didn't win it. I shouldn't have to accept this. I got high expectations on this Lion era. And guess what? If you ain't winning and you ain't doing nothing to help the team, you need to go. That's how I go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, man. Look, Jared Goff is not getting younger; he's only getting older. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, look, you got to blame something on somebody, for the loss. In these last 2 losses, man, Jared Goff just looked. I'm just gonna be honest. He looked horrible. He looked disrupted. These defenses are, pretty much giving him that happy feet, man, to the point where, he's just back there just looking discombobulated, so you got to, like I said, you have to do yourself, a favor and go out there and draft a quarterback.
That's because he's been spoiled. He's been spoiled with that good line. But guess what? He can't
What was his numbers last night? What was Goff's numbers last night, Big Chief?
I'm not for sure. I have to check.
Here, I'm about to check now. But I know he had definitely was up under 200 yards in passing. He didn't have a 300-yard no interception game that last night.
He threw an interception, didn't he?
Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions. If I'm not mistaken, he may have thrown 3.
Okay.
Come here, Damon.
The line ain't do nothing. The offensive line is the blame of the downfall of Detroit.
Right.
Lions.
I get that. But this is what I'm saying.
That's on the GM. That's on the GM.
I understand that. But it also is on coaching too. But let me say this. Once again.
He got to coach what's out there.
Once again, the elite quarterbacks can adjust to that.
All right.
They can make something happen. He got sand in his shoes. He can't make it happen like that.
At all. Listen, he got cement in his shoes because most quarterbacks, most coaches will adjust to that half. We were not able to adjust to what Minnesota defense did. And the only thing they did was continue to blitz every freaking play, because their defensive coordinator, he blitzed 75% of the time anyway. So the only thing he was doing was just letting that defense go ahead, have at it, and that's what they did.
And I'm not trying to go against you, Q, or nothing, but, you're my man's, right? But I want to tell you this. Just like I was tired of hearing, the Lions, they haven't lost a game back-to-back.
Right,
and then me and you had that conversation about the Steelers coming up in town to play. And I said, hold on now. You got to respect Mike Tomlinson. And one thing he's known to get his teams in them playoffs, and guess what happened? They popped us. They finally broke our record because you got to understand, Mike Tomlinson is a Super Bowl winning coach, and he's known for coming back out of the gutter and getting his teams in playoffs. And guess what? Getting them in. And look what he's doing now, fighting for a playoff spot again. And it's been about 6 years in a row. He did something like that. So you have to respect that man when it came to that. So Lions, they definitely got a lot of work to do. They finally got their record broken. I told you that.
Hold on, D. Big Chief. We got robbed of that game. What you talking about? They
Which game you
robbed
talking
us.
about, Q?
Pittsburgh Steelers game. We got robbed.
Listen,
We got robbed at the end.
that game
Why?
couldn't even came down to that last play where
It
we
don't
so-called
even
got
matter.
robbed.
We still got robbed. We still got robbed at the end of the day.
Okay.
Bill
If
Parcells
you do,
said we got robbed.
if you do add in the rob, it don't matter. You couldn't stop the run. You let 248 48-yarders bust to the house or something. You gave up 2 big plays at the wrong time. No. We can't keep calling on the refs, man.
Goff stats against,
we got robbed, Big Nasty.
We cannot keep calling on them. Okay, we got it's been a lot of controversial calls against us this year. I admit, but guess what? You gotta play through it. You gotta play through it, bro. At the end of the day,
I will say that I'll give Q that. It seems like we have been fighting playing against the refs too. But like Big Chief said, you have to be able to play through that, man. There's no excuse. Goff is playing with cement in them shoes, and these defenses know it. So look, man. I want to apologize to everybody for stepping out. I had to take care of a few business, so I was, a little discombobulated in my questions or whatever. But you guys held it down. I don't know how long you guys have to be on the show, but we've been doing it for 41 minutes. I need for you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Give me your thoughts on the Lions season. Do you think this window this window of their chances of winning the Super Bowl has come and go? These are the questions that we were talking about. These are, this is what we were talking about in this game. I know Dan's probably going to be there for another year, but do you think we can go on, with Dan making these decisions, like going forward on 4th down, versus not taking the point, because he cost us a few games, this year alone, with not punting the ball, and just going for the points, I should say. So that'll be my last question to both of you guys. Do you think Dan Campbell will go back to, regular coaching, versus going for it on 4th down, or is that a new trend that, because I noticed a lot of other teams are starting to pick up that, going for it on 4th down too, but after this season, after having a horrible season, after going for it on 4th down, a lot of that shit backfired on him this year. A lot of things that we did last year, like far as going for it, we succeeded. It all failed this year. So I think, he'll continue to coach that way, Big Chief.
I believe he will. But I'll be alive. I'll be alive, because don't get me wrong. When it was working, I fell in love with it. But I also
we was all on the bandwagon.
I was on the bandwagon. So I'll be alive and say, I wasn't on the bandwagon. But I believe he will. But I think he's going to calm down and be a little bit more smarter with it. He has no choice, because I'm quite sure he'll be on that hot seat come next year if he keep calling some dumb things like that. But I think like I said, I think he'll calm it down. But yeah, I think he'll calm it down.
Okay, same question to you, Q. Do you think Dan will next year continue to coach like how he's been coaching, like far as just going forward on 4th downs, not taking the points, not punting, and just going for it and losing the ball and giving us horrible field position and giving the other teams great field position?
Hey, they ain't got a wheelbarrow on the sideline. I'm riding with it. Whatever he do, I'm down with. We the Detroit Lions. See how bad y'all talking about him now? So it don't matter. When he do make those 4th down calls, y'all love him. Oh, that man's a bad man.
Listen, Q. See,
hold on now. Hold on now. Y'all get it.
I'm let you answer. A lot of people think that we just giving him criticism. Don't think that we talking bad about him. Go ahead, Q. Go ahead, add your last words.
I'm just saying, y'all just gonna just run them in the mud, talk about them how bad they are. They suck. I am a true Lions fan.
No, you're not.
I'm saying this to the world. I'm saying this to the world. If you guys don't like Jared Goff being to 2028, I'm gonna leave this one. Turn your stuff in, man.
Hey, you ain't a true Lions fan, because you know why you ain't a true Lions fan? Because you should have zero tolerance of how they played, period. You got to have high expectations. You want a dynasty, don't you? Do you want a dynasty here? Okay,
Yeah.
then. So you got a high
Listen,
expectation.
you should be upset.
That's what you should
how
have.
that
You
game
settling.
went. You know what I
No,
mean?
you
It,
settling.
it, it, it comes
You
to
settling.
it comes to a point, man, where you have to make change. We should have saw what the Rams saw 4 years ago when they traded Jared Goff. That should have been that should have been a red flag. That should have been a red flag for most teams. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. Jared Goff, to me, he's a great player. He's a great regular season player. I don't think he'll be able to get us over that hump. I think that window for the Lions, far as with this group of players, far as winning the Super Bowl, that window has closed. We're getting ready to go back to rebuilding, and we're definitely going to need to look to the draft for a better quarterback. But I'll give you guys the last words. On what you think. What we need to do going forward. Big Chief. So let everybody know what you got going on, man, and where they can reach you. And give us your last words.
I don't have a platform right now, but I will. We'll talk about that. But as far as a Lions team, man, we all know and we all seen it, and it's self-explanatory. I don't have to really get into details, but we all know they got to retool, and we got a lot of. Hey, they're gonna make some hard decisions, and hey, sometimes we all get addicted to the superstars. Maybe some of them stars got to go. We know, and you're going to have to retool your team up. So I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, well, Big Ken, give us your last thoughts on this season and where do we go from here next season? Is it Jared Goff, or do we need to start looking into drafting another quarterback or looking into free agency for a quarterback? And let everybody know what you got going on and where they can reach you too, Big Ken.
Okay, right now you can reach me on What Up Though show until I get my platform started. But I feel like this season is a wrap. Like C said, we got to start retooling and offense and defense. Like you said, I feel like that we might get rid of some people that you don't think we're gonna get rid of. It's gonna be a shock. I just think the whole team, offense and defense, is ain't nobody job safe. I'm gonna say that.
No, it's not.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go ahead, Big Chief. My bad.
No, I was saying absolutely. That's all I was saying, D.
Yeah. Q, give everybody your last words, man, on this season and where do we go next year, and let everybody know where they can reach you and what you got going on.
Go in free agency, pick up the best interior lineman that you can get.
That's if you want to spend.
Yes, he has to spend. Let's draft the quarterback. I agree on that with you guys. Let's get one. Let's draft some guys on defense, another defensive end that can make a little noise on the opposite side of Hudson.
Play on day one. They got to be able to play on day one.
These are my last words. Hold on. These are my last words. And I'm out.
Okay.
Jerry Goff. Jerry Goff.
Let me piggyback off of that Jared Goff shit. Jared Goff ain't the answer, man. We got go. Yeah, I know he want to cut me off, y'all.
We got to go.
He's not the answer, y'all.
All right, well, look. I want before I end the show, I want to thank each and one of you guys for coming on the show. I definitely want to thank you, Big Chief, for joining us. We definitely going to bring you back. I want to say this. Look, don't get me wrong, man. Look, we all are Jared Goff fans, but you got to be real with yourself, Q-Dog. Yesterday game showed us what type of quarterback, that we have leading us into the future. And I'm just going to be honest, man. The offensive line been banged up and hurt all year, and they've been getting it done, man. When the defensive team, which Minnesota is, and they love blitz, and they showed, like I said, man, they pretty much drew up a blueprint for the rest of the league on how to be able to beat Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions, how to be able to take this running game out of out of our game. And that's exactly what they did 2 games in a row when they played us. So we have to be able to go forward, man. We have to start looking, in the draft for another quarterback. You know what I mean? So, look, it was a great conversation. It was a great talk. My question to you, and this is my last question to you guys. Do you think we're going to win against Chicago next week?
I can answer that. I would be surprised.
Yeah, because we let our offensive coordinator, that was calling plays for us. He basically he took the worst team of the division and ended up winning the division. With Chicago. And that says a lot. You know what I mean? So look, I don't want to hold you guys up. It definitely was a great conversation. And I definitely want you guys to leave your comments. Let us know what you think about the future going forward. It's been another one. It's your boy Dame D, and we are out.
Peace. Peace.